Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential problem. So our problem here is 243 to the power of x, or 243 to the power of what, equals 4. So our goal here is to find the value of x. Well, there's actually two ways of doing this. So depending on what you think, you could either use the first method or the second method. So let me do the first method first. So first, let me write this right here, 243 to the power of x equals 4. So our goal here is to make these two bases the same. We want to make these two bases the same. So to make 243 and 4 the same, well, we can change 243 to 4 to the power of 4. So we just changed our base from 243 to 4. And now that our base is the same as this one, well, this is actually 4 to the power of 4 to the power of x, and this is equal to 4. And now 4 to the power of 4 to the power of x, well, this is the same thing as 4 to the power of 4 times x. And this is equal to 4. Now, 4 to the power of 4x equals 4, right? Well, this is the same thing, 4 is the same thing as 4 to the power of 1. And because these two bases are the same, then that also means that our exponents here, these two are the same as well. So why don't we ignore these bases for now, and let's just focus on our exponents. We could write our equation 4x, or 4 times x, equals 1. We're setting our exponents here the same because if our bases are the same, then our exponents are as well. So now all we have to do is simply solve for x. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides to isolate x, and we are left with x equals 1/4. And that's our answer to this problem. Now, why don't we check our work here? Let's go back to our problem here, and let's plug in 1/4 for x. So we have 243 to the power of 1/4, 243 to the power of 1/4, this equals 4. And something to the power of 1/4 isn't the same thing as 243 to the 4th root. This is the same thing as 243 to the 4th root. And this equals 4. So what to the power of 4 equals 243? This is essentially what 243 to the 4th root is asking. And 4 to the power of 4 actually equals 243. So 243 to the 4th root is simply 4. And 4 does indeed equal 4. So this is right, meaning our answer is 1/4. So now let me show you guys the second method of doing this. All right, so our second method is, well, we're going to ignore the x here, and we're just going to find out, let's just focus on this 243. 243 to the x root equals 4. We're going to first find that out. So 243 to the what root equals 4? Well, as we already know, that's 4, right? 243 to the 4th root equals 4. So we have, this isn't actually the actual, I'm just going to say that this is y. So y equals 4. So 243 to the 4th root 243 to the fourth root is equal to 4. And isn't this the same thing as saying 243 to the power of 1/4 equals 4? Because remember, when we have anything to the root of anything, let's say we have a to the root of b. Well, this is the same thing as a to the power of 1 over b. So 243 to the fourth root is the same thing as 243 to the power of 1/4. And x here is 1/4 as well. So this is our second method. And that's how you solve this exponential problem. Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So right here, we have the equation x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 3 equals x to the power of 6. And this is actually a really simple exponential equation. So our first step is to get all the x's on one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract x to the power of 6 on both sides so that it joins the other x's. So this results in us having x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 6 equals 0. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to factor out x to the power of 3 from this expression. So if we factor out x to the power of 3, we get x to the power of 3 times, well, x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 3 is simply 1, plus x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 3 again is 1, minus x to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 3, that's going to be x to the power of 3, because x to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 3 is x to the power of 6 minus 3. Remember, we're using the quotient rule of division of exponents, and we subtract exponents. So now that we have this equals 0, and this can be simplified into x to the power of 3 times 1 plus 1 is 2 minus x to the power of 3 equals 0. All right, so now we could turn this into two equations. We could turn this into x to the power of 3 equals 0 and 2 minus x to the power of 3 equals 0. All right, so now let's solve our first equation here. We have x to the power of 3 equals 0. Well, what to the power of 3 equals 0? 0. 0 is the only number to the power of 3 that equals 0. So our first solution is x equals 0. All right, so now let's solve this one. Let's add x to the power of 3 on both sides. We're going to add x to the power of 3 on both sides. So we get 2 is equal to x to the power of 3. And now if we take the cube root on both sides to cancel out this exponent, we get, I'll write this over here, the cube root of 2 is equal to, well, the cube root of x to the power of 3 is simply just x. So this is another solution to this equation. Both of these are solutions to this equation.